Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm recording a few videos here on the 14th of December, so this might be out a couple days later, but that's okay. I just got a few videos I wanted to get under my belt before the busyness of the holiday season really kicks in. It's already kicked in for me, but I had a little bit of time tonight, one of the few nights this week that I'm home, and I thought I would knock out a couple of videos. This is a video, a Christmas themed video, where I want to talk about 5 albums that even if you don't like Christmas music, I think you'll like these albums. So I'm going to call it, Christmas albums for the rock fan or something like that. So yeah, I'm just going to jump right into it. And you might have heard of a couple of these. There's probably one or two I bet you haven't heard of. So I'm just going to jump right into it. The first one here is a compilation, and it's called Merry Christmas Baby. This was released last year by Real Gone Music, and I think they say it's one of the first, if not the first, compilation of Christmas singles put on one disc. Now, the subtitle of this is Intimate Christmas Music for Young Lovers, um, which I wouldn't exactly call this intimate music, as it were. It's a blues album. It's essentially Christmas blues albums by some of those old blues guys like Charles Brown, who wrote the title track "Merry Christmas Baby." Well, who sang it first, I should say. And a lot of these aren't songs that you don't have like Silver Bells or I'll Be Home for Christmas. Um, but you do have a song called Sleigh Ride, different version of Sleigh Ride, by the Lloyd Glenn Trio. You've got Johnny Moore's Blazers singing Christmas Every Day, Boogie Woogie Santa Claus by Mabel Scott, Lonesome Christmas Part 1 and 2 by Lowell Folsom, Christmas Dreams, again by Johnny Moore, Christmas Eve Baby, which is Johnny Moore, Christmas Letter by Johnny Moore, Love for Christmas by the Jackson Trio, Christmas Blues by Jimmy Witherspoon, and Jingle Bell Hop, which is an instrumental, pretty cool boogie woogie Christmas song by the Jackson Trio. This is a very good album. If you like the blues, if you like, this is a good album to put on when you're sitting at home. You got it dark with the lights on, and you just want to really hear some Christmas blues. It's definitely made for the nighttime, I would say, and it's very bluesy, very just it's a really good album. And a lot of these tracks date back to the 50s. It originally came out in 1956 on vinyl. This is the first time it was put on CD. So yeah, you can still find these in record stores every now and then, the actual vinyl. And these are actually, I think these are still pretty cheap on Real Gone Music. I got to thank my friend Stephen Schnee. He recommended this last year, and I had to take him up on it, so I bought it, and it is fantastic. So Merry Christmas Baby, intimate songs for young lovers. Christmas music for young lovers. Next, this is one that my buddy Randy Nelson mentioned to me last year. And actually, I didn't buy it until early this year after Christmas. This is called Quality Street by Nick Lowe. And I believe it's the most recent Nick Lowe release in terms of a full-length album. It's called A Seasonal Selection for All the Family. And there's Nick looking very cool. And then they have the cover a la Sergeant Pepper inside there, where you can see the characters there. So really cool. You've got Nick with his Christmas lady there. He does traditional Christmas songs like Silent Night, Old Toy Trains. He does a really good version of that. The old country song, Children Go Where I Send Thee. He does the song I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day, which I think was by Wizard. Is that right? Oh no, yeah, it was written by Roy Wood and Wizard. Yeah, so it's very cool. Um, he also does Christmas Can't Be Far Away by Boudleaux Bryant, Christmas at the Airport, which is a Nick Lowe original. Um, again, Old Toy Trains, Roger Miller, The North Pole Express. Um, let's see, Hooves on the Roof. I Was Born in Bethlehem, which is a Nick Lowe track. Just to Be With You This Christmas by Ross Bond. Rise Up Shepherd, which is traditional. Silent Night, A Dollar Short of Happy, which is Nick Lowe and Ry Cooder, talking to you, Glenn Kellaway. And then, like I said, I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day by written by Roy Wood, who of course went on to form ELO with Jeff Lynne. So not exactly a rocking album. It's a lot of it's more acoustic and kind of laid back. But if you like Nick Lowe and don't like like the Christmas sounds with like the bells and the like the xylophones and things like that you would get in Christmas music, this is a pretty good album. It's it's an older Nick Lowe, but it's still pretty cool. So thank you, Randy, for recommending that. This is one I would more call this an EP/comp. This was a thing called John Prine Christmas. This was put up by Oh Boy Records, which was John Prine's record label, and it's only 8 tracks. And a few of these tracks had already been released on other albums. These are alternate versions, like live versions of some of the tracks, and then a couple of songs that are unique to this album itself. But he does the song "Everything Is Cool," which is I believe it's a studio version of that. Which there's mention of Christmas on that. Howie Epstein and Benmont Tench of the Heartbreakers play on that, as well as David Lindley, who played a lot with Jackson Browne. All the Best, which is John Prine at the Coach House, and that's really on here because it's not really Christmas, but it's at the beginning he mentions he got a divorce for Christmas. That was his joke, and so that's his divorce song. So that's pretty cool. Then he does an original called Silent Night All Day Long, which was also co-written by Bobby Whitlock. That's a really fun song. Actually, my band is playing that this coming Sunday, the 18th. And I'm singing that, so I'm looking forward to that. If You Were the Woman and I Was the Man, that one is okay. That was actually he duets with Margot Timmons, and it's not a John Prine song, but he sings it, and it's live. He does a version of Silver Bells, which is fun. I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus, again, pretty fun version. He plays that at Jack's Tracks Studios from Nashville. There's a live version, just an acoustic version of Christmas in Prison, which is one of my favorite songs. He recorded that in Nashville. And then he does like a spoken word kind of story track called A John Prine Christmas. He incorporates songs like Pretty Paper and the Liechtenstein Polka, which is a Cowboy Jack Clement tune. So really kind of a cool track. You can find it on Oh Boy Records, A John Prine Christmas. And yes, that is Mr. Prine as a little boy with a department store Santa Claus. So pretty cool acoustic / Americana John Prine album. Next, this is the last official last official studio album by the Monkees. This is called Christmas Party. Came out 2 years after their surprise comeback with Good Times. This came out in 2018. Pretty cool. It's not as good as Good Times, mostly because none of these tracks have multiple Monkees on the track, which I know, if you go back to like the Monkees Present or Changes, some of those last couple of Monkees albums, a lot of those were recorded, individually. Like at that point, Mike Nesmith was predominantly recording with Nashville musicians. Mickey and Davey were recording separately. So it kind of falls in line with that. I guess probably the most disappointment with it is that with Good Times, you actually had songs where, Mickey would be singing and Mike and Peter were providing background vocals and some instrumentation. But aside from that, just as an album with Monkees on it, it's a pretty good album. Again, they take kind of the same formula as Good Times, where they took outside writers like Adam Schlesinger of Fountains of Wayne, Andy Partridge from XTC, Rivers Cuomo, Noel Gallagher, and then they also take old songs, like they do the Christmas song. The song Christmas Party is by Peter Buck from REM. Jesus Christ, the song, by Alex Chilton from Big Star. I Wish It Could Be Christmas Every Day. I just mentioned that on the Nick Lowe album. This is actually the first place I heard that song. Great vocal by Mickey Dolenz. They take a couple of archived songs from the 90s by Davy Jones. They do Mele Kalikimaka and Silver Bells with new instrumentation. Mickey sings a version of Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney. Mike Nesmith has a couple of beautiful vocals that he recorded with his son Jonathan and Christian. He does Snowfall, the old standard, really, really cosmic country kind of sound. He also does the Christmas song, which is probably my favorite song on this album. It's just so Mike Nesmith, and unfortunately, it ends up being one of the last recorded tracks that Michael Nesmith ever did in the studio. They do "Angels We Have Heard on High," and then again the song that I mentioned earlier, "Merry Christmas Baby." That's a really good version with Mickey Dolenz. And essentially 3 members of Fountains of Wayne minus Adam Collingwood. So that's really cool. And this is the Target exclusive version. So you actually have the TV version of the song Ryuchi, I should say, that the Monkees did on the TV show. It's just a beautiful a cappella old song that dates back to I think it's an old folk song from like the 1500s, something like that. And then they finish with a song from the 1976, "Christmas Is My Time of Year," which has the Monkees minus Mike Nesmith on it. So yeah, check this out. The Monkees Christmas Party. If you like the Monkees, if you like just good pop music, check it out. And lastly, I wanted to say this one for last because I talk about it a lot. It's the album "Socks" by J.D. McPherson. From 2018 on New West Records. If you know anything about New West Records, they have one of my favorite groups on there, the Wild Feathers. They've got Pokey LaFarge, who I love. They've got Steve Earle on there. There's some really great Americana rock artists on there. So I highly recommend checking out anybody on New West Records. This is a fantastic album. It's all original songs, all in the rockabilly kind of style, I guess. A lot of stand-up bass, a lot of great electric guitar solos, great brushes on the drums. But like I said, all original music by J.D. McPherson and the boys. Socks, the song itself is about getting the worst Christmas gift that any kid would want, and that's socks. Nobody wants to get socks for Christmas when they're a little kid. Some highlights for me include the opening track, "All the Gifts I Need," fantastic vocal by JD. "Hey Skinny Santa" is one of those great songs where they're talking about Santa's too skinny before Christmas, so they got to take him around the world to eat all the different foods. So like they talk about going to France or New Orleans and like the local cuisines at each of those places. And each time a verse ends, his waistline goes from 32 to 42, and then it goes all the way up to 99. So it's kind of fun. A really fun ballad called "Ugly Sweater Blues." Really nice vocal by JD. He does a great duet with singer Lucy Silvas called "Claus versus Claus." It's about how Mrs. Claus and Santa aren't getting along because Santa's too involved in his work. And then a song that predates the album, the last song called "Twinkle Little Christmas Lights," is a rockin' tune. So I highly recommend checking out "Socks" by J.D. McPherson. So there you go. Those are some great albums. I think you all will enjoy them. If you like rock and pop music, check it out. They're really, really, really great albums, and high praise for each and every one of them. Let me know what you think of those albums. If you have many of them or any of them, I'd love to talk to you in the comments. Please subscribe. Please take part in my contest that ends on the 2nd, and I will see you all in the comments. In the meantime, be good, take care, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye now.